What's going on? It's the Great White Stoke coming at you from the Great White North, heading down the mountain. We got some light rain, so there's going to be a bit of road noise. Making a VR to Shafe the Great, and the title of this video shall be, Tell Me You're a Boomer Without Saying You're a Boomer, Shafe. Because that's exactly how you come off with regards to the critiquing of the young peoples today and your bewilderment, your befuddlement, and your bafflement, or your bafflery with the thought that these young people are just going to start killing people, and how wrong that is. So let's break it down, Shafe. How many people do you have in your phone right now that are in their 20s? Like, how many people do you interact with that are in their 20s? Like, right now, like I got a few people that I'm on very friendly terms with that are in their 20s, and so they rap to me about what they're experiencing on top of what I'm witnessing in this objective reality. And first and foremost, when you start pontificating about how it was when you grew up back in 1993, hey, Grandpa, what were the demographics like when you were of that age back in 1993, pre-9/11, where you didn't have to have a social security card and an ID wherever you went, where you could actually go into a business and get eyes on the person making the hiring decisions and actually give them a firm handshake, look them in the eye, and say with a serious tone, I'm ready to work. The world you grew up in, Shafe, doesn't exist anymore. And the fact that young people are getting so ticked off about it that they're getting ready to kill people, you should not be pointing the finger at the young people. You should be looking in the mirror and asking yourself, why do I expect these young people to hold up this unholy house of cards, this illegitimate facade called our government and Israeli interests? Why do you expect young people to even sign up for 6 figures worth of debt to get a college degree with that you were probably able to pay for on a summer job and then never have to work, right? Maybe part-time throughout the semester, right? Those days are long gone. Like, what was gas when you were in college? What, $1.25 at the highest? Right? All of these kids are looking down the barrel of life, realizing they're never going to be able to do what you've done, Shafe, which is possibly get married, have a family, and purchase a home, and maybe someday actually outright own it, except for those darn property taxes to pay for school for kids that you don't care about. Whatevs. Not only that, you're expecting these kids to sign up and just grovel at the feet of the boomer consumer because the customer's always right, and go out and get some corporate job where they're just subjected to narcissistic abuse every day about how much they're fucking up on the shift. Meanwhile, right, they haven't had a raise in how many years? The boomer class just expects the young kids to do what they did when the system actually worked for them. The system doesn't work for the kids anymore. The system serves a select few, and the boomers are the barrier between the children and real fundamental change, right? The boomers were all about, oh, we're so different. I think you're more like Gen X, Shafe, but the Gen X had their ass kissed all throughout the 80s and 90s too. I recall all of the magazine articles, especially on publications like Time Magazine, about how Gen X was going to save the world. Look where we are as a result of the boomer class and Gen X. They all sold us out for big homes that they're going to die in because the young kids now don't want to saddle themselves to these obscene mortgages, right? Not only that, but the kids today, Shafe, are seeing what you don't see because you got a big blind spot to it. And that is our government and our politicians and more than likely high-ranking government employees are all bought and paid for by the Israeli government. And that's why we're in Iran, right? You literally grew up in a time where we went through a 20-year war. And you're like, oh, we need to go to Iran. Iran's a bad problem, right? We need to send some young kids to die for some quagmire that they don't even understand. Right, and we've been infiltrating their government like since the 50s with the Shah and this, that, and the other. My goodness, do you ever close your mouth and breathe through your nose and think about what you're saying? Like, these kids are never going to be able to participate in the fundamental things that you participated in. You got to live the dream. The kids now are stuck with the bill. And you're expecting them just to, like, keep a stiff upper lip and just do what you did, right? Because you are the only one that worked hard. Man, right? When you went to college for psychology and now you're working in finance, like, what? What planet do you live on? Are you aware of current events? Bruh, the kids have a right to be pissed off, right? That guy that Luigi took out, right? Had it come, and all of these corporate bigwigs and all these corporations, they got it coming, and their extended people as well. They all got it coming because they're all lying to us. Our government is primarily composed of people who fuck children and probably eat them as well, along with high-ranking government employees, and we know that the tech elite are in on this child fucking as well. And you want the kids to be just like, well, our government is composed of child fuckers, so we better just sign up to go serve our country for Israel. Good Lord, bro. Good Lord, bro. You are like on Planet 9 with the space turkeys, right? And it's that ideology that has brought us to heel for the demon class. This is why our country's in debt. This is why people are walking around in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt that they're never going to pay off. And the boomers are wondering why people are ticked off and why the kids are all on their phone. But it's all their fault because they buy coffee and avocado toast and don't want to work hard. My goodness. Tell me you're a boomer without saying you're a boomer. Boomer.